Welcome to Water Sports World, where this week it's the high flyers of tournament skiing getting us underway. And stand by for a portion of Burger King Whopper flips. Full explanation later. Then it's time for an update on the British offshore scene, where it's an American and a Frenchman who stole the limelight. And finally, the tragic and untimely death of Victory Team's Hamid Bouhaleba. First so, it's Bruce the Goose, Raging Ron, Cannonball Clooney, and your commentator, Jumping Jack Flash, Tony Lightfoot.
Hello and welcome to the 1995 Sola Masters, the finest water ski tournament in Scandinavia. Situated almost halfway between Stockholm and Oslo, Karlstad provides the setting for some of the best water ski jumping in the world, with competitors from 8 different nations battling for the top honours. The competition forms the focal point of an annual festival in this Swedish town, which includes parades and fashion shows amongst other things. There's even time to demonstrate the final art of barefoot skiing, as Coco here is only too pleased to oblige. Certainly you see the problems being demonstrated here on the river course, which the jumpers will have to compete against. We've got Coco going through his paces, and listen kids, don't try this at home. And as he makes his way out of the arena, let's preview the top guns in this event. Bruce the Goose Neville, who come to us from Australia. Raging Ron Thompson from the United States. Andrea Bubo Alessi from Italia. Jarrett the Jet Llewellyn from Canada. Jim the Human Cannonball Clooney from Canada. And Stefan Silberfield from Germany. Judges and drivers just making a few last-minute checks before the start. The river course here has presented 1 or 2 problems for the organisers. The river has actually swelled quite considerably over the days preceding this competition, which has made the course slightly shorter and has made the competition length a little bit longer between each skier. That shouldn't deter them. As we see our first competitor, Daniel Dobringer from Austria. We're catching him here on his 2nd of 3 attempts here. Taking a swift cut to the left and then to the right, making sure he's as wide of the boat as he possibly can, and now turning towards the ramp, cutting at speeds of over 50 miles an hour, hitting that 5'6" jump, springing and landing. And the distance on that jump is 49.2 meters, and looking a little bit disappointed. He is a 55-meter merchant. As we see our next competitor, our sole representative from Great Britain, this is Paul the Ice Price. This too is his 2nd attempt. He's really working hard to get as wide as he can on the boat. Now turning in towards that ramp, building up the speed. Look at him go, look at him fly, and look at him land. It's taken a lead, it's 53.2 meters, and it's one of his best jumps of the season as he drops into the water. Some brilliant stuff there from Paul Price. And Daniel and Paul are the only 2 jumpers jumping at 5'6", which is equivalent to 1.65 meters. And now the ramp is being raised to 1.80 meter, equivalent to 6 foot, for the big boys to have a go. Crowd waiting in anticipation for our next competitor. This is Klaus Casso from Denmark. He's out wide to the left. The further wider you can get on the left, the more chance you've got of being wider on the right. Using that pendulum motion, waiting, setting his edges, cutting in towards that jump. A little on the back of his skis, but managing to get an excellent spring, an excellent flight. But that's a jump of 56.2 meters. Here he comes for his 3rd and final attempt. He's got to try and pressure this jump a little bit more. Great flight, and just too far over the tips of his skis when he came into land. So he won't record a distance on that 3rd jump, and he has to be settled with 52.6 meters. Next competitor, Jørgen Jansen. Comes to us from Denmark. Beautiful looking jump, lands and skis it away, and he's pleased with that. It's 51.4 meters, but it's not enough to represent one of the top 3 places at the moment. Here he comes for his 3rd and final attempt. He's really got to try and go for a little bit more distance here. Oh, and went a little bit too hard. And as the same as Klaus Casso, failing to land on his 3rd and final attempt, and only getting credit for the jump of 51.4 meters. Next competitor from Austria, this is Fabian Radal. He's out wide to the right of the boat. Good hard turn, a little bit of slack line, that will unsettle him, and indeed it does. That's the safety option for each of the skiers. If they feel unsafe coming into the bottom of the jump, they can refuse to the left-hand side of that ramp and avoid what could be a very nasty crash. This is Fabian's 2nd jump of 3. Last dramatic moments before the main cut into the ramp. Good spring, but not enough in the way of speed, I'm afraid. And that is only 47.8 meters. And he'll be disappointed with that effort, I'm sure. Jonas Kaffmark from Sweden is next. One of the major hopes on this home crowd here in Karlstad. Jonas Kaffmark pulling a little bit too much with his arms into base of jump and not getting his skis far enough underneath him. It's only 44.6 meters, and he'll be bitterly disappointed with that. Andreas Björk of Sweden in the white speed suit. Now looking to pressure this jump now. The 2nd attempt. Good spring. Lands it feet to feet. And he's a little bit disappointed with that because it's only 48 meters. And he is a jumper who consistently jumps around about 52. So understandably so. The crowd really getting into it now as we introduce our 1st competitor from North America. This is Raging Ron Thompson. Coming in for his 1st jump. Handle a little bit high, he's on the back of his skis a little bit here, but managing to get a good distance, and it's 49.6 meters. That's not a bad jump to be getting along with, but it's not enough to take the lead at the moment from Paul Price, who holds 53.2. This is Ron Thompson's 3rd and final jump, tries to spring, oh, and takes a further there. Loosen his left ski in the air, and unable to recover out of that in time before he hit the water. Let's see a slow-mo of this one. Good approach into a jump, but just try to overspring that one over the front of his skis. Absolutely no way he could recover. Well, 1 or 2 relaxed faces in the crowd there as we see our next competitor. This is Andre Alessi of Italy. Known as Boo Boo to his friends on the ski circuit. He is the current world jump champion and would need that kind of form here and now to post the lead. This is his 1st attempt. Looking good. Brilliant speed. Superb kick. Floats that jump out. And it's a distance of 55.8 meters as we see a slow motion replay of Andre Alessi's great 1st jump there. 55.8, and it takes the lead. We introduce our next competitor, Gerard Llewellyn. He's just making a few final adjustments now. Struggling to get his right arm into that sling. That's a device that holds the right arm as he comes into the base of that jump. When you're cutting at speeds of over 60 miles an hour, you need all the devices at your disposal to keep you in the right position. As we see Jarrett come into the course now. Turns around the 180-meter cut buoy. Times the approach well. A few final moments to compose himself, and here he comes. Well over the tips of those skis. Brilliant landing, but it's only 50.9 meters, so Andre Alessi still in the lead with 55.8, and Paul Price from Great Britain 2nd with 53.2. In 3rd place, we have 52.6 by Klaus Casso, and here we come into our next competitor. He's from Australia. He's Bruce the Goose Neville. Into the course now. He's out wide. One of the finest jumpers in the world. looking to post a good distance right off the bat. And looking back, not looking back too far, in fact, it's only 50.7 meters. An unenviable position. Bruce Neville, not in the top three at the moment. Here comes Stefan Silverveld in his unique silver speed suit, designed to reduce on air resistance and has been known to increase on jump distances quite considerably with the top competitors. Here he comes off the jump. Brilliant spring. And it's a good jump. It's 55 meters exactly. Puts him in second place behind Andrea Alessi. So Italy in first, Germany second, Great Britain in third at the moment as we introduce our last competitor in the first round. This is Jim the Human Cannonball Clooney. Comes to us from Canada. Almost snatched the world jump title in 1993. Let's see what he can do here and now. Brilliant stuff, and waves to the crowd just for good measure. He's through to next round. He knows that, and it's 52.7 meters. Let's have a look at the standings after round one. Andrea Alessi of Italy, 55.8 meters. Stefan Wild, 55 meters exactly for second place at the moment. Paul Price of Great Britain with 53.2 meters.
So, Raging Ron and Bruce the Goose with plenty to do after round one. The fight back coming up, plus the whopper flips and the clowning skips. The calm waters of Falmouth that sprung a surprise or two. And the death of one of the UAE's greatest sportsmen. After the break. Welcome back to the Solar Masters, where, with the jumpers taking a breather, it's time for a little clowning around.
A little bit of downtime here, dedicated to our clown skiers at the moment. Off the ramp. Oh, one of them's taken a fall. Hurling himself into the action there and almost giving that girl on the shore a little bit of a fright there. It's certainly adding to the excitement of this competition here in Karlstad, Sweden, with the crowd waiting for the next round of jumps to come. We've already had Klaus Casso posting 51.6, Daniel Dobringer with 54.1, Jorgen Janssen with 47.6, and Paul Price with 45.9 so far. We're now going into our last 6 competitors in the semi-final. First of them is Raging Ron Thompson from the United States of America. Runs his own water ski school just outside Orlando in Florida. And hoping to put some of the coaching techniques he preaches into good use here with his first attempt. Good spring, good landing, and altogether a good jump there from Ron Thompson. 52.6 meters on that first jump. But he knows he's got to try and put a little bit more distance on that because the competitors to come are all world beaters. Here he comes. Oh, springs out to the side, and 2 crashing and as many rounds for Ron Thompson, and he must be disappointed. He doesn't look too hurt, but his pride must be dented beyond repair after 2 crashes. So Ron Thompson has to settle with 52.6 meters. Bruce the Goose Neville, wearing his national colours of yellow and green of Australia. This is a good setup so far. Working hard to get out wide. Making his final turn. Good dig. Good kick. Oh, and a brilliant float there from Bruce Neville. He's taken a lead, and that is 54.4 meters. That is going to set the standard for the competitors to come, including Jarrett, the Jet Llewellyn. As you can see, our head-on shot. And now we come back to the boat on Jarrett Llewellyn. This is his 3rd and final attempt. His distances so far haven't been up to much cop at the moment. And here he comes into the ramp. Beautiful spring, great float towards the end of that jump. It's 52 meters. He's going to have to sit there and wait and find out if he's through to the final. We're only taking 6 competitors through to our dramatic final here in Karlstad. This is Jim, the Human Cannonball Clooney from Canada. He is a member of the exclusive 200-foot jump club. He has jumped over that magical distance more than once. Let's see if he can produce it once more time. Beautiful jump there, and that is the lead. It's 56.7 meters. With 2 competitors left to go, that's the lead, 56.7. He's through to the next round. Will this person be through? Stefan Silverveld. Last year, he jumped over 200 foot. What can he do this time? Good approach, stands up well before the jump and kicks off an absolute beauty. It's 55.9 meters. It's good enough for 2nd place at the moment and good enough for a place in the final. Crowd really getting into this competition now as we await the world jump champion from Italy, Andrea Alessi. Defends that title this year in Roquebrune-Saint-Jean in the south of France. But this competition, he's got to worry about now. Great stuff. Beautiful jump there. It's 52.5 meters, not as long as he might have anticipated, but it's enough to send him through to the next round. As we look at the top finalists, we have Ron Thompson there with 52.6. Bruce Neville, 54.4. Llewellyn with 52 meters. Jim Clooney with 56.7. Stefan Bild with 55.9. And Alessi with 52.5. And here we go into another part of our competition. This is the Burger King Whopper Flip Contest. As many flips in 20 seconds. And that was Paul Price of Great Britain, only landing 2 flips there. Our next competitor from Austria, this is Fabian Radal. Setting himself up. 20 second starts here. And he scores an absolute duck there. No flips from Fabian Radal. This is Italy's Andrea Alessi. Good start. That's 2. Working himself to a 3rd. Falls on that 3rd one. He'll score 3 flips for that effort there. Go on to our next competitor. This is Sweden's Andreas Björk. Camera having trouble keeping an eye on Andreas Björk there, but that is 3 flips so far. This is the 4th. Almost losing position there. That's the 5th. Here he comes for the 6th. Great stuff here. 7 and falls on the 7th, so he'll be credited for 6 flips there. Next competitor out on the water is Bruce the Goose Neville. Lands the 1st flip. You can see the difference in styles of the trick skiers. He's only using 1 wake. He's losing time in between. Working into his 4th. He's having fun here for his 5th flip. Lands and skis that out. Some great stuff there from Bruce Neville. Manages to ski that one out for 5 flips. It isn't the lead. Andreas Björk has that. And here's our last competitor. This is Jarrett the Jet Llewellyn from Canada. Look at the amount of height he gets off each flip. And he performs them on both sides as well. From left to right and from right to left. Jarrett Llewellyn. Great stuff here. And that is 7 flips there from Jarrett. And even performs a flip twist back just for a little bit of show there. So Jarrett Llewellyn winning the Burger King Whopper Flip contest with 7 flips ahead of Andreas Bork with 6 flips and Bruce Neville with 5. Capacity crowd now building up alongside the River Klar in the middle of Karlstad, in the beautiful district of Värmland. Some great jumping to come. First of our competitors, Jarrett the Jet Llewellyn, came into this final round with 52 meters exactly. We want to try and put some pressure on early. This is his first jump. He's out wide, conditions now about as good as they're going to get here. Very little in the way of wash. Ah, brilliant jump. Oh, and that is an absolutely sensational opening jump there from Jarrett Llewellyn. That is 57.3 meters, and he knows that's a good attempt. And here we're going to see it again from another angle. An exceptional turn, good speed, and just look at the amount of height he gets off that ramp. Sails over the buildings there. 57.3 meters, and that has got to put severe pressure on the competitors to come, including our next one, which will be Andrea Alessi of Italy. Crowd here waiting and anticipating. Boo-Boo into the course now, running out towards the left-hand side of the boat, setting himself up well. Turning approximately 180 meters away from the jump. He's out wide, setting himself up here. Good turn, good dig. What can he do in the terms of kick? Oh, sails out, an absolute beauty. That is 59.5 meters. Great stuff there. Catapulting himself into the lead, and as we see from this action replay shot, the amount of height he gets off that jump is just uncomparable here. Lands 59.5 meters, and a well-deserved lead there from Andrea Alessi. Now we're coming down to our last 4 competitors, the first of which is Ron Thompson. He's had 2 falls in as many rounds so far. This is the 3rd and final round. Will those 2 crashes have affected him mentally? We'll soon see. This is his 2nd attempt into the base of the jump. Oh, almost losing his right ski, but does well to recover. And I think his day is done with 48.4 meters. An appreciative crowd here in Karlstad, clapping the skiers as they go past, with Bruce the Goose Neville out next. He has got a hefty task ahead of him. 59.5 meters the lead. This is his 2nd jump. Turns out wide, takes hold the handle, digs in. Beautiful kick, beautiful extension. Trying for every single meter or a fraction thereof. And that is 58 meters exactly. Not enough for the lead. Now we're on to our penultimate competitor. This is Stefan Silverveld. Turning around the 180 meter cut buoy once again. That's the only buoy which the skiers have to tie themselves with for the cut to the outside. Here he comes towards the jump. Kicks this. Oh, and loosen his right ski on landing. Helmets flying everywhere. Skis flying everywhere. I hope Stefan's all right. That was a hefty fall. And you can see the river current here taking him down. And now we're going to see an action replay shot of Stefan Wild. Takes a good spring on this jump, but unfortunately leaving his right ski behind and taking a really heavy-duty fall there. That would have stunned him a little bit there. He's going to be pulled onto the back of the boat. He'll get his skis back on. I know Stefan Wild. He doesn't lie down too easily. He wants to go back out there and challenge the competitors with his 3rd and final attempt. And the Swedish crowd here really appreciating his bravery of going back out there again. One of the best jumpers in the world, Stefan Wild. Coming into the course now. Now, will he go for the gold here? Or will he be looking just for a safe jump, just to build his confidence back up for the next competition? He's out wide here. He's looking good. Good dig into the base of the jump. Good kick. And that is quite a respectable jump there from Stefan Wild. That is 52.3 metres. It's not enough for the title. And this is the last person. This is the only person who can determine who takes home the top cash prize money here at Karlstad. This is Jim, the human cannonball Clooney. This is his second attempt. Good dig. Beautiful spring. Well over the tips of those skis. What's the distance? It's 58.2 metres. And the Swedish crowd really getting into the spirit of the event as they see Jim Clooney land that second jump. But the eventual winner is Andre Alessi with 59.5 metres in front of Jim Clooney with 58.2 and Bruce Neville with 58 metres. From the 1995 Sola Masters Water Ski Jump Championships, this is Tony Lightfoot saying so long and ski you later.
We'll have more from Tony Lightfoot in a couple of weeks. Meanwhile, we devote the remainder of the programme to offshore powerboating, the Cornwall Grand Prix, and a tribute to one of the sport's nicest guys killed in the Class 2 Worlds. Welcome back, where it's time now to catch up on the latest domestic news from the British Offshore Powerboat League. It's round 3 of the Ucoba Championships, the Cornwall Grand Prix. It's Farmouth, England playing host to that third round, and a town rather better known for larger craft. The huge dry docks have refitted the merchant navy for almost 100 years here. Cornwall, though, also boasts a great sailing tradition. Many of the world's greatest commercial schooners and ships of war sheltered and sometimes foundered here on the wild and unpredictable waters. Not today, though. Flat calm for the new warriors of the waves racing in Class 2, 4 litre, 2 litre and 1.3 litre. And no longer the fear of running aground. These days, high-tech equipment includes satellite navigation, ensuring not only a safe passage, but an edge in navigation over those with traditional compasses. Nowadays, the sport is peppered with successful young businessmen, easy to display their entrepreneurial skills behind the wheel afloat, as well as in the city. Among them, John Miller, with his latest creation.
So is it built primarily as a 6-litre boat then?
It is a 6-litre boat, and it's built primarily for racing in the Middle East, really, to suit the sort of water conditions they have out there. And it's nice and sunny out there, which makes it more fun.
Certainly is. Well, then, now tell me, it looks pretty good. Does it go any good?
It's very fast. It's very early days yet. I mean, we've had propellers stolen and things like that, so we haven't done as much testing as we would have liked, because we waited for new propellers to arrive. The only few that we had left after the theft were no good at all.
Is there any part of its handling you don't like?
Yeah, into the wind it's got too much lift, so it snakes along a bit. But downwind it's very good, which is very unusual for a catamaran. So when everybody else is going flying along, we'll be going quite sedately, and then the other way around the other way.
Okay, you're saying it's very fast. What are we talking about in terms of speed?
We've seen 110 miles an hour on GPS, which for a boat that is, well, I mean, it hasn't done more than 5 hours in the water. But that's a good starting point.
American Charles Burnett III is also an extremely successful businessman. His chain of Los Locos restaurants are acclaimed worldwide. And for him, it's a new boat for 1995, and for Falmouth, a new navigator.
No problem at all. I've already been out sort of 3 or 4 times in it, put a couple of hours on it, and we'll be going steady today. And there's still 4 races before there, so I'm sure we've got a lot of testing to do before then. We've got a number of things we want to try to improve the boat's capabilities in certain water conditions, and we'll be ready for it.
Looking forward to it?
Very much so.
Individually successful, both on and off the water, Mike Standring and Graham Peck, M9, now collectively prepare for Class 2 world honours. But it hasn't all been plain sailing, as Mike Standring explains.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. We made a bad choice on props, as you know, and today we've got the right props on, so I can't say we've got an excuse at the moment.
Now, you've had a few outings now to get used to the boat, and not too many left before the World Championship. You're going to be up and ready?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Well, I mean, we're very confident as a team. We know the boat works well, it's very, very quick, and, you know, we're saving everything for the World Championships.
Yeah, I mean, how important is that? I mean, it's the Class 2 Championship has eluded you in the past. I mean, is it a big thing?
It is the pinnacle. I mean, everybody wants to win the big one, and of course the World Championship is the ultimate. And you know, the best you can do is win, you know, your class of World Championship, and that's exactly what we're going to have a go at.
The appearance of an all-girl crew in this male-dominated domain is always guaranteed to raise the odd eyebrow. But for Los Locos sponsor Debbie Cottrell and Sarah Bellamy, the buck stops right there.
Oh yeah, certainly. I mean, we're just as good as the men that race in 1.3 litre. I'm sure they'd say that too, but yes, we hope we've got a very good chance. We hope we're going to have a fast boat. We hope everything's going to go right on the day, nothing's going to break down. We're certainly going to have the right attitude to go out and win. So we're looking forward to it.
And from a voyage of maidens to a maiden voyage, Martin Mansbridge's aluminium masterpiece makes its debut here. But even following 2 years of careful planning, there's still a few bits to be sorted out.
We have got a few problems. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a shakedown race for us, this one. It's the first out.
At the show, I know that most of love it. So would I. Having a great time. Bye.
Like inseparable binary stars, bound together for eternity, to spin in the universal seas of the cosmos. And as the seasons change, so do the heavens.